Hi, I'm UK Guns, and in this video I'm going to be taking you through a bit of a review really of the Smith Wesson M P 1522. This is the MOE version, which is it's the second generation of the 1522, the 1522 Sport, but it's also the MOE, which is the Magpul original equipment, which has the Magpul stock and pistol grip. I've already done a video where I unbox this and show you all the parts, so I'll briefly go over them, but won't go into too much detail. I'll talk about a couple of bits that I've added, and then I'll talk about how the rifle has been. I've put quite a lot of ammunition now through this. I've had this for coming up for about 4 or 5 months now, and I've probably put 2,000 rounds, if not more, probably 2,500 rounds of ammunition through this. So quite a bit of ammo. I can tell you some good bits and some bad bits, and what my overall thoughts on the rifle are. So very quickly then, as it's the MOE version, it has the Magpul stock. So this isn't the standard AR15 stock, this is a Magpul SL stock. It's got the Magpul pistol grip, and it comes with some M-LOK rail covers. That's what the MOE comes with. All of the 1522, the Gen 2 versions, come with the M-Bus pop-up sights. But the MOE comes with the stock pistol grip and M-LOK rail covers. And obviously I've got it in black and this flat dark earth colour. You can get it in black and olive green or just black. I think they do some other colours as well now. But that's what I went for. It's got the standard charge handle. Now I'll talk about this first because it's the standard T charge handle that can only be unlocked for one side. Now next level armaments do make an ambidextrous charge handle that's slightly oversized, similar to the Raptor charge handle if you're aware of that. I have one on my M4. Now, as I say, next level armaments make one specifically for the 1522 because the charge handle, the length of the charge handle is different because of the internal workings are different. So it's not interchangeable with other AR15 parts. But next level armaments make one, and I'm definitely going to get one in the next weeks. They're not very cheap, they're about £70 unfortunately, but I am going to be getting one. So that's not on here yet, but that's an upgrade I'm definitely going to be making because I do like being able to cock the rifle from either side. I do think it makes things a little bit easier. They look pretty smart as well. Other thing I've added, had a bit of Picatinny cover up here just because it looks smart, and then importantly what I've added is this grip pod. So this is a actual grip pod system, so it's a foregrip and a bipod at the same time. I really like how versatile that is, and where I've mounted it is just slightly back from the front of the handguard, and what that means is I can hold the front of the handguard in that sort of over grip, which I know a lot of professional shooters, certainly in the States, use, and it's something I'm trialling at the moment and testing it out. Quite like it. It's quite a comfortable way of holding the rifle. It takes a bit of getting used to though. So I can hold it that way. I can also hold it under the handguard here, or magwell hold. I can also foregrip, or I can rest it on the bipod and shoot from the bipod. So I really, really like the versatility of a grip pod. So really, really good. Recommend those. They're not very cheap though. I'll be honest, brand new, they're about £80, I think, which I think is a lot for a foregrip. You can get some second hand. I got that one second hand. It's a lot cheaper. I'm trying to source one for my M4 in black for the M4 because I really want to get one. So that, you know, if you get them second hand, you do get a few come up online second hand. Well worth it. If not, they're quite expensive, but a worthwhile investment. Very, very good bit of kit. And then I've just put a 4x32 scope on here. This is nothing special. This was an online purchase. That's the box for it there. Nothing really special about that. It's illuminated reticule. It's nice enough. It shoots well. I only shoot this really at 25 yards. I may take it to 100 one day just to see how it performs. I hear it's actually quite good. But I just got something cheap and cheerful for 25 yards. Works fine. Don't get me wrong, if you want to stick something like a Strike Eagle on there, Vortex Strike Eagle, or a better scope, it is going to give better groupings. I know that because I've got a Vortex Strike Eagle on my M4, and just to see the difference, I did mount it on here one day, took it to the range, and found my groupings were a little bit better. It's not huge because it's only 25 yards, but they were better. So it is worthwhile investing in a good optic if you want. But I'd already bought this one. It looks pretty smart on the rifle, and it does work. You know, the groupings I get with this aren't terrible, so I'm quite happy with it. And then it comes with one 25 round magazine, again flat dark earth. I've got these Magpul loops on there. They make it pretty easy for changing the magazine if you've got a holster or anything like that, and they look smart as well. That's a 25 round magazine. I've got an extra magazine. I got that from Black Rifle, I think, for $29.99. plus postage, which I think was a £5, so you're looking 35 quid all in for an extra magazine, which I do recommend it, especially with it being semi-automatic. One magazine can run out pretty quickly. Downside, of course, being to that is once you've got 2 magazines, going out to the range using 50 rounds at a time quite easily, usually quite quickly as well, does push the cost of your ammunition usage up somewhat, I have found. But it's a lot of fun, so certainly don't regret it. And that's all the features. That's the bits that I've added. I've kept the embossed pop-up sights because I really like them as a backup, and I have had times where I had a bit of an issue with the scope before, and I just took the scope off, went onto the iron sights, and it shot great until I got a replacement. And so that's, you know, a really handy little feature to have. The fact they fold out of the way means they're not an issue. You can't see them through this scope as they are, so it's just perfect. And that's one thing that I love about the 1522. It's ready to shoot out the box. Now, how's it performed? Well, as I say, maybe 2,500 rounds of ammunition put through this. Very, very few stoppages. I have to be honest, at the start, I did have a few and that worried me. But I think it's actually just the rifle breaking in. It was brand new. I picked this up from Rifleman Firearms. The first couple of weeks of shooting it did have stoppages, probably quite a lot really, but I'd say one every magazine I had some stoppage. Usually it was not striking the round enough rather than stovepipes or anything like that. But I think it was just stiff parts, maybe the hammer or the spring or something internally. I think maybe it was a bit stiff or sort of the oil hadn't worked in yet. But after a couple of cleans and a bit of usage, those really ironed out, and now I'm down to a very low number of stoppages. I'd say for every 100 rounds I put through it, maybe one stoppage, perhaps less. It's certainly not noticeable really anymore. I can quite easily go to the range and shoot a couple of 100 rounds and not have any issues, and other times I might get 1 or 2. So it's pretty good, very reliable. I'm very happy with it, and I don't shoot this thing slow for the most part, to be honest with you. Unless I'm shooting from the bipod, I might go for a nice grouping and take my time, but for the most part I'm shooting 25 rounds and I'm shooting them in quite quick succession, sometimes 50 rounds in the space of 10-15 seconds sometimes, and it performs very well with that sort of usage. So I'm really happy with it. It's accurate. Like I say, I'm not the best shot in the world, but I get fairly good groupings with it, especially if I put it on the bipod and sit down and take my time with it. But even standing, get good groupings. Obviously with a better optic I could probably improve that. But it's a really nice rifle. It's got the threaded barrel, so this has got a flash eliminator on there, but I have, or I'm going to be getting very soon, a moderator for it. So that'll be quite good when I get that. But other than that, like I say, it's good to go out the box. A couple of little bits that I would recommend adding on there. But otherwise, this is a fantastic rifle, and I'd 100% recommend it. It's probably one of my favourite guns that I own. Really enjoy shooting this gun. It's a lot of fun, and it looks fantastic. It's a beautiful gun as well. No, I know it's not all about looks, but it looks great and it shoots great too. So can't really give you any bad points, to be honest. Like I say, you do get some stoppages, but it's 2.2 rifle. That's to be expected. Obviously don't put any subsonic through it. I only put supersonic through it, and I have been pretty picky with my ammunition. I've been using mostly CCI mini mag. I've done some blazer through it, which is cheaper, does gunk it up a little bit more, but for the most part I've used CCI mini mag. I wouldn't recommend using really sort of low quality ammo, because I think you will get feed issues or cycling issues. But other than that, it's fantastic, and I'm not too worried about getting any issues with it, because obviously being in the M P range from Smith Wesson, it's covered by a lifetime warranty. So any issues with it, you just get it sent back to them and they get it repaired free of charge. But from what I've read online, reviews and things like that, issues are few and far between with these rifles. So if you're thinking about getting one, stop thinking, go and get one. 100% recommend it. Thanks for watching.